Hello there YouTube. I was recently browsing my computer hard drive and I came across some old footage I recorded in March of 2020, about a week before we went into the first UK national lockdown. This footage is me riding my Honda CB500 and not knowing what to do with it. I've decided to make a little bit of a review and share my experiences of owning a Honda CB500 for 3 years. Unfortunately, I sold the bike in May of 2021. Without further ado, let's get into the review. Okay, so I guess we'll get straight into the basics of this bike. So it's a naked street bike and it's powered by a 499cc liquid-cooled parallel twin. The engine has a claimed maximum brake horsepower of 58 brake horsepower at 9,500 RPM. The maximum torque is 47 Newton meters at 8,000 RPM. In terms of weights, the bike weighs 190 kg at a wet weight, approximately, and has a dry weight of 174 kg. The claimed top speed is 115 miles an hour. In terms of braking, the Honda CB500 came in a couple of variants. The pre-1996 model, I believe pre-November 1996, the bike had a rear drum brake and a single front disc brake. For post-1996 models, it was disc all round and the front brake was made by Brembo. Okay, that's the basics of the Honda CB500. If you want a more detailed spec sheet, you can find plenty online. At this point, it's going to be based solely on my personal opinions and experience, owning and riding this bike over the course of 3 years. So getting into the handling of the bike, I found the bike to be very chuckable in corners. It held the road really well, and overall it was a very good confidence builder. Prior to getting this bike, I'd only ever been riding 125s, and that's why I went through direct access to skip the whole A2 side of things. And upon getting on this bike, I was immediately comfortable riding it, which would make it a very beginner friendly bike. Unfortunately, the brake horsepower on this bike does not necessarily make it A2 compliant, however it would be very easy to restrict. In terms of braking performance, I found the Honda CB500 to be pretty much spot on. Over the course of 3 years, there were several occasions where I actually needed to do an emergency stop, and on every occasion the brakes performed absolutely fine. The one thing you will need to consider with this bike, the bike does not have ABS, so riding with a bit of caution on slippery road surfaces or in the wet is advised. I cannot speak for the pre-97 CB500 because that has drum brakes. I'm sure there are plenty of videos out there that will offer you a bit more of an insight into the braking performance on the drum variant of the CB500. In regards to fuel economy, originally I was going to use the official stats at the beginning of the video, however I've decided to use my own stats that I recorded on Fuelie. On my bike I recorded an average of 57.8 UK miles per gallon. This was over the course of 1800 miles in 2017, and the lowest I recorded was 54.3 UK miles per gallon, with the highest being 63.5. Overall, I think the Honda CB500 is a fairly economical bike. When it comes down to reliability, there's not really much here to say. The bike started up every time, be it in the height of summer or in the lows of winter when it's really cold. I even started it up a couple of times when we had the Beast of the East in 2018, and it started up instantly without fail, and I didn't even need to use choke for the most part. Overall, the bike has been very reliable and I've always been able to count on it. So with the comfort aspect of this bike, like any bike, it's a very subjective thing. You will see people who find a particular bike comfortable, you will find people who find a particular bike uncomfortable. With me and the CB500, I found the bike to be very comfortable. I never found myself getting off the bike with any back pain. I found the riding posture to be very comfortable. In terms of the saddle, again, the saddle was very comfortable. I never found myself feeling any degree of saddle sore at any point when riding this bike. The longest ride I've done continuously on this bike is around 150 miles. So as a quick summary to this bike, not only is the bike reliable, it's also a very economic, cheap bike to run. Being in the Group 9 category when it comes down to insurance, it's pretty cheap to insure, so very beginner friendly. I think this bike would make a great A2 bike restricted, but it would also make a great first bike for anyone who's gone the direct access route. So that's everything I want to talk about in this video. I hope it helps you decide on whether or not you want to own a Honda CB500. I will be uploading more content in the near future, so please give me a thumbs up and do subscribe. Thank you for watching.